Right, good evening everybody. Welcome to the news. For those who are looking for another legend, that'll be on when I've done this. Um, right, the news around the world. Well, as probably everybody is aware of in the UK, there is a huge line to see Her Majesty at rest. I think it's between 5 and 7 miles long now, with people queuing, all in good, good order. The marshals do a fantastic job out there. It's going to be a bit of a cold night tonight. Hopefully, it'll be a bit warmer in London, in between the buildings, and everyone gets to go and see Her Majesty. Right, that's what's happening in this country. We've also got. I'll talk about what I'll link through as much as I can. Again on the coast, because we've been busy with other things. The illegal migrants that are coming across are on the boats. Loads of them. They seem to think just because we have one issue, we can't concentrate on others. They've been increasing in numbers, to be quite honest, since all this has kicked off, and they're coming across as quick as they can get them on the boats. They're literally packing the boats with 50 people at a time now. So I think it was Monday, like 19 boats came across. Right, so they're breaking records all the time. The amount coming across. So something's gonna break on that one. So they need to look abroad what's happening, which nicely drops me into Sweden. Sweden, normally a place that we associate with Norse people, blonde haired, running through the fields and everything like this, and beautiful place and beautiful people. And a very, very quiet and tranquil place to live. Unfortunately, for the last 14 years, that's not actually been the case. Since they opened the doors to migration, ethnic migration, and people running from wars and everything like this, things unfortunately have gone downhill for the Swedes. And hence what has happened, I can tell you that there's one of the biggest cities, Malmo, beautiful city, has turned into the gun crime capital of Europe, surpassing everybody, and it is directly linked to crime and immigration. There's no way of getting around that. That is the facts. So this has actually led to the Swedes, who are normally very, very hospitable to everybody in the world, actually voting in a right-wing government. Yeah, it finally got confirmed this morning. They won by one seat. That's how close it was, by one seat. So now, I don't know what's going to happen, but I can expect that they've been voted in to actually curb this. So I would be thinking now that all those people who've caused trouble in the country will be being deported. It looks like they'll be beating us to it. They will deport them because they have no choice left, because they're wrecking their country completely. Moving over, we know what happened in Germany. That was, again, Germany had massive troubles. That seems to have calmed down a little bit, but it's bubbling underneath. On the other side, we have Italy to watch now. In the next couple of weeks, they'll be going to the voting polls, and they're expected to go the same way, possibly as well. So you're thinking, wow, it's starting to get it's bringing a lot of problems to a lot of countries now, this immigration. So what do I think could possibly happen? Well, if this carries on, this could be the end of the Schengen areas. They could actually close off Europe. So on the borders, literally, they could just close them off and say that's it, no more. Or they will drastically shrink down the borders, and for the illegal immigrants, they'll just pile them on. There'll be no argument then. They will just pile them on. We've seen it in France with the rise of the far right with Marine Le Pen and people like this. They possibly, if Italy goes, and Greece possibly would go, and then you've got, it could be a domino effect that we're seeing here. We're going to have to wait and see on that one. Travelling over to America, we're going to talk about Starlink. Starlink sent up some more satellites today, and the largest, I believe, a large private piece of space mechanics has gone up, which is the biggest lump go up for quite a bit. Excuse me. So that's gone up today as well. Interestingly, the booster rocket that they used on Starlink today, it is the 14th time they've used that booster. That's incredible. No more space junk. It's all recyclable. So 14 times they've used that. Right, so that's quite interesting, that. The rest, everything else, pretty much, I'll just say quickly that the war in the Ukraine and Russia, I don't know what's going on there. All I can say is that all of a sudden it seems that the Russians have pulled back as fast as they can. I'm not going to say a rout, but I'm going to say they pulled back very quickly. They've taken the size of the Ukrainians have taken the size of Wales back, apparently 6,000 square miles or something like that, or half Wales. They've taken in the last 3 or 4 days. So that's, I don't know what's going on there, whether they're running out of ammunition or whatever. There's a lot of hearsay about it, and unless I know more, I wouldn't like to guess on what actually is going on there. All I can say is the sooner it's over, the better. People will stop dying. That's the blessing about it. Right. So that's the Ukraine sorted. China, we haven't heard much from just lately. We know they had a couple of disasters and everything like that. We know in Pakistan, we haven't heard yet, but I am expecting to start hearing about bad typhus and things like this starting up, because once the rainy season has stopped, then the heat goes back up again, then the mosquitoes are going to be everywhere, passing across all sorts of weird and wonderful diseases. So I think they've got the worst to come yet, even though there is, I think, something like 13 million people struggling for housing. Oh, excuse me, medication again. Right. So, going back to this side, the British government are operating again. They've started to do things. Liz Truss has sort of like put a block on the fuel companies to stop them from causing real chaos in the country. But we're going to have to wait and see what's going on there. A lot of people are still a bit confused about what's going on, but lots of people are trying to explain things. I pretty much understand what's going on myself. So I've been telling other people what I think is going on, or what hopefully is going on, my thought on it. Right. So that's that one. And then in Warwickshire today, the police actually surrounded a barn with their firearms unit, and they surrounded it for nearly 4.5 hours. And then afterwards, when they actually just got in the cars and drove off again, and people were asked what was going on, and they simply said there was nothing in it. So, if you watched Dad's Army, it was better in that one. Right, so that's that one. If we get more information, we're all going back to fracking as well. I threw that one in. Liz Truss has said she likes fracking. That's all well and good until you get earth tremors and things like that. I'm not a fan of fracking. I'm an ex-coal miner, and I can tell you that when they shut the pit down, there's still 60 years worth of coal in there. Ta-da! So, just goes to show what's happening there. So from that side, I'm not a fan of fracking. I do believe in thermal use of thermal stuff. I do believe in solar, tidal, and everything else. But they keep saying no to it. So it's, what can you do? But never mind. Right, I digress. I hope everyone's having a lovely night. I'll catch you all later. Anything else, as I say, comes up in news, I will be straight back to you, and I'll get on to you and I'll tell you what's going on if it's important. All right, take it easy. Bye-bye.